Good afternoon, everybody. It is pretty much the 26th of April, pretty much by the time this video is being recorded, but it is the weekend of the City to City Dayton show at the Dayton Mall, and pretty much back at what we would regard as like the best show of the weekend. I just reorganized the entire booth. There was like some new cards that got traded in. I think it was like a Charizard EX from one of our guys that's like back that way, and then two different Pikachu illustrations that we ended up getting for filler because we didn't have them for the binder. They ended up grabbing like a bunch of like dollar, what was it, the like fairy type cards. There was like a couple of varieties of those, and then I forget what else they grabbed. There was like a Meryl Black Star promo for, I think it was like in the 2000s, but I can't remember the exact one it was from. With that being said, I'll see you back in the first clip, which will be either a sale or trade, but you know how it goes. Well, see you in a sec. All right, first big trade of the day. We ended up getting some more tag stuff finally because we've been getting asked for more, and then the Vaporeon V Black Star promo, and then they are getting our Charizard V-Star, and then the Drowsy. This one pretty much had dropped back down to where it was about a few months back, so we basically did that and $3 on top. We ended up snagging a few more stuff. I'll actually show the card that's blinded by the reflection on top, but the Pikachu illustration, I can't remember what set that's from, Miltank from Crown Zenith, Houndour, which we just dropped the price on, the Journey Together Ferret, and then the Jolteon, and they are trading us another Gardevoir that we needed, the Cruel Edge from Surging Sparks, and then there was the secret illustration, Bianca's Devotion, and there it is right there for the collection. This is Zapdos EX full art for 151, so we didn't even trade on all of it. It's very hard to see, but they are basically about to make me do a coin flip, and we agreed on 105 and 110, so pretty much a $5 difference. So heads or tails?
Heads.
He's going heads. Tails! There we are. Been kind of slow today, but we were able to snag a few things for the binder, mostly to sell off. And Ammonite illustration, I believe this one is from, 151. And then a sealed promo for Charizard V, and we pretty much gave them $10 for both of them. And more trades, and of course I owe them $10 on top, but they're getting the Pikachu promo that we got out of the bulk load, and then a couple of other common Pikachus, and then in our big case we got the triplets. I don't know what we called it, but then not Pikachu EX, Umbreon EX. And then, of course, getting another tag team, Blastoise EX, we need another one. And then, of course, the Lilies, Riombi, and Ferret from Journey Together. Thank you. Okay, this is probably a really big pickup for the weekend until probably tomorrow. But we ended up doing a trade for the Gardevoir, Ralts, and Krilla. I cannot pronounce the card's name. And they ended up doing a trade, $40 on top. And we ended up getting a Snorlax VMAX, the Tatsugiri illustration. Love this card. I would actually like to get it as a t-shirt if I can. And then these are neat because they were explaining to me that these were Burger King promos, and I've never seen these before, but they're from 2008. So again, $40 on top. I did a bulk sealed pack lot. Somebody came over to the booth. They wanted tag stuff. We just put out that Pikachu Zekrom, the Umbreon VMAX, and then the Mega Venusaur EX, and the tag team Arceus Dialga and Polka, and pretty much didn't even trade for a bunch of random packs, and they'll pretty much be out for sale right now. Thank you. So they are picking out, it's not going to be these 3 packs, they'll pick out their 3, but it's 3 Silver Tempests and then that sleeved Lost Origins that we got from that trade, and we sold it off originally 31, but it is being sold for 30. All right, there was one kid that was going to do trades with us, but they were in a hurry, so we basically gave them $40 in cash. Mega Absol, this one I don't ever see very often, and usually near mint, which that's what this was, is like going for 25. And pretty much the rest of it is like good filler because we sold that at Arvern pretty much most recently. So overall, really good pickup. All right, ended up doing a deal. This was originally at 165, but it was a buddy of mine, so we're dropping it down to 130 for him. So best deal of the day. And soon after that last deal, 120 on the Skyla that we had a few weeks back, the Azumarill from Neo Genesis, I believe, and then that Snorlax VMAX that we just got in earlier just sold quick, so 120 altogether. All right, I had to unfortunately remove the mic out. The battery died on that and the adapter, but I ended up doing a last second deal. Probably going to be calling it quits after today, but PSA 9 Surfing Pikachu Black Star promo. I was kind of surprised to see this come through. And then tag stuff, because we always get asked about them, but it's PSA 8s. And we pretty much agreed on $195 for all three, so I was pretty happy with the deal. All right, we are basically back for day 2. I forgot to do like an outro before the show ended, but I left early, but I did pick up a few things. You'll see the first thing that we're going to show off, because that was the last pickup that I forgot to record about. Unless I already recorded, so I'll do it again regardless. But I'll show right quick what we ended up snagging pretty much right before the doors open up for the day. So the only things that we ended up getting, this was yesterday from one kid. He ended up selling us the Celebi V. We don't really get these in very often, but I mean, they're good fillers, and this is the same artwork they used for the Pokemon Pocket TCG Go game. And Dindy, which that I think was like a last second choice, because it was mainly just this, but they threw that in there. I can't remember the exact amount, but I'll probably put it later in the video. And then this was today from one vendor, one of my regulars that I usually buy from. We needed Gengar stuff, so we ended up getting another Gengar VMAX, because again, these have been selling fast. And then a couple of these, I tried to look up information on them, but they are just really good Gengars, and just it's kind of really hard to like keep those in. So we ended up getting these for $35, so I mean that's still a pretty good deal for those. And of course, the only other thing, it was like a bunch of like reverse hollow bulkheads in the dollar binder, and that ended up like doing really good yesterday. But I'm showing off the booth because the owner of the show said that we're good to like spread it out, and you'll see that footage right now. The booth itself is like more stretched out, because the amount of items that we had bought yesterday, it got traded to the booth. A bunch of like pack sleeves that we were like desperately needing, because especially with like Journey Together, because some people were asking us about those. So now we have product for that to basically surplus what stuff we were missing on. So with that being said, I'll cut the clip short, and we'll basically see you back in. So out of the binder stuff right here, there was stuff that we had to adjust price on, because there was like some that I didn't have the correct amount on, but that's how it goes sometimes. A couple of Pikachus, Brexen EX, or not EX, just the Brexen Trainer Gallery. The Dindy GX that I mentioned earlier, that one's gone. The Fido, and then in our showcase, that tag team, Espeon and Deoxys. The Squirtle, this one was like around 63, but I dropped it down to 60. And then the Dachshund EX, and we originally agreed on 200, and we agreed it down to $15 less, so at 185. All right, quick trade. They are getting our Charizard EX that we are now down to one more left, and then the, yeah, it's kind of better to do it this way. The Charizard V-Star, and condition on it, there's like some spots on it that we looked over, but we offered them 50, and they just owe us $5 on top. There we go, and of course, ended up doing a quick deal. This altogether originally was going to be $65 in cash, but they are getting this bundled in with it, so we owed them $45. It is like extremely hard to see. The glare is bad, and I blame it mostly on the Gardevoir EX, and oh, he's trying to block off the light. But they ended up trading us a Cleffa Shiny Mew EX from 151, the Zapdos promo from 151. I've been looking for that one, and I agreed to like $1 on that. And then Espeon V, and they are getting all of our Silver Tempest booster packs, and then the last 3 of the Paldea Evolved ones, and we basically didn't even trade for all that together. There was a even trade that we did with the customer, and we picked up a Ninetales and Pidgeotto from Obsidian Flames, and then there was a Zorora V, and then they are getting our Poliwhirl from 151, the Shiny Staryu, and then the Palafin. I believe that one is from Paldea Fates. I couldn't remember, but even trade all together. All right, just did a quick sale. This was a huge discount, but it's one of our regulars, and we're just doing it all together. This is techno free, and that would be $1 off, so $64 for the pair. Hi, I'm back again. So there has been a lot of stuff that's happened over like the past 2 hours. I've jotted down like what I ended up selling. I ended up getting one lot, which was like I basically paid $60. It was like a lot of common stuff that we're going to be putting in a dollar binder. Some reverse foils. There's actually a Zapdos that was inside the lot that I forgot to mention about. But yeah, it's really cool. It's got like a crease at the bottom, but I mean, I wanted it for the PC. And then not long after, there was a couple that ended up buying some packs from us, and they ended up getting 3 Journey Together, and then what was the last thing that they bought? It was like around 37. They had like 220, so we ended up giving them $3 back. Then this was like the biggest pickup that we ended up doing for the weekend, because it's kind of insane like how much that the kid had, but he had a Megazord that we pretty much already passed on because the condition on him wasn't great and he didn't really care for the price. So I'll show you what we ended up getting for this. Yeah, like I said, it's crazy just the amount of stuff this kid had, and for $300, just the amount of stuff that we have in here. There's like Mega Evolutions, like either one of these will pretty much do well. There was like Blaziken. We had people asking for more tag team stuff because, again, we can't seem to keep hold of anything tag team. Like, we already sold that PSA 8 Deoxys Umbreon earlier, so that's good filler and we needed it for the booth. But it's just the amount of variety that they had is pretty insane. So they are giving us $21, but they are trading us the Drowsy. This one, unfortunately, does have a miscut on the left side, but we still were able to offer them around 20 in trade. So they're getting that Gyarados that was part of that lot earlier, the Volcanion EX, and then throwing in a packet of Journey Together, basically dropping it down to $1 less for it. So altogether is 21 on top. That's pretty much the show. Overall, I think the turnout was not as busy as it was last month here in Dayton, but I mean, the trades were incredible. That last big lot that I got, and a bunch of like common bulk that I was going to put in the cheap binder and just try to move that out. So, I mean, there were some good trades. I still think that I did better than I expected. And of course, I got money coming into my account. But that's it. This is it for the month of April. To everybody new, thank you very much for dropping by the booth, and everybody for checking out the channel if you did. Thank you again. Head on out, get some gas, and basically make my way back home and be ready for the next show. I think it is the Jubilees show. I will post up online whenever I do know when that particular show is. But love ya. Have a good one, and as always, you know how we end these videos. Stay strong, stay positive, and of course, love ya. Have a good one.